have to find out if this shit worked.
No. Whoa. Are we streaming? Did you push start?
Yeah, it
Okay.
should be good.
Let me check.
Anybody need a drink? Drink a drink?
Not yet.
I'll drink my little drinky drink.
Upcoming.
Go. Let's see
Nah.
this.
Upcoming. I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, I don't see it either. Maybe it, because it is OBS, it might take a second to transfer over.
Alright.
But hey, we can. At
Oh,
this
there we go.
point, we're
Just record it?
recording.
Okay.
So worst case, if this is.
But are we
not-
recording?
Well, you just hit the record
Yeah,
button.
if this
it may
is-
not be live.
We are recording.
Do you see live yet?
I don't know. No. Just, yeah, fucking with you guys. I don't care. We'll figure this out. We've had some technical difficulties today, and to add to the technical difficulties, we have had liquid.
It's how to fix it.
We've been drinking a little while. At least
I've been
Austin and
on it. I haven't,
You-
no.
Yeah, but you'll catch up. Come on.
I don't have anything to drink.
Fucking drink this. Chug it.
Is that the last one?
That's the last one I had. That's my third.
Oh, I no.
Drink
I
it.
was,
Okay.
You're good.
I don't
Is that your third? No. Okay. We can chug the last one together simultaneously.
Worst
Anyway,
case,
Stone Cold
this
No,
might not
we're
be
gonna
live, but
touch lips and
I'm recording it so we can upload it later. But
We'll figure it
holy
out.
shit, that was like
2
2
hours.
solid hours of trying to figure this out.
If our IT guy would have answered the first time.
Seriously,
shit. Yeah.
like,
off
God,
bed.
sleep until 2 o'clock.
I mean, when you're in India, you can time change, you know. But
Yeah. Should we? No.
no, we're good. We're centered. It's fine.
Okay. Anyway,
So, yeah.
holy shit.
Cheers to a good day.
Yeah, really good
Yeah.
day.
Oh yeah, day drinking is always a good day. Boopers.
What's your favorite day to drink?
Day. of
Not
the
day,
week?
yeah, just like
Yingling.
Yingling Day.
Yeah, honestly, because
Oh,
you
you're
can.
saying
what-
day of the week.
Yeah, what day of the week is your favorite?
Oh.
Yingling.
You drunk ass.
I thought you meant my favorite day drink.
Oh no, I see what you're saying. Yingling.
I honestly Mondays are pretty
Yeah.
fucking fun. Mondays.
When you're off, when you get
Yeah.
off work for the day and you just.
It's usually a holiday that you're off on a
Yeah.
Monday,
That's true.
and so yeah, it's a fun one. It makes for a 3-day weekend.
Football Sundays, that hits.
That's a good one,
different.
too.
That always hits.
Yeah.
The
different.
first 3 weeks are really cool.
I gotta say, when I really hit heavy day drinking though, God, at like fucking 6 o'clock, I'm like, I'm done.
Oh yeah,
I'm
you just
done.
want to go.
Your
to
belly
bed,
feels
Yeah.
like a balloon.
Yeah.
It's like, damn.
Have you guys ever gone on a float trip?
I don't think so. I don't even know what that is.
So you basically tie a bunch of inner tubes together and you float down a river, and the entire time.
Oh, like a lazy river.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the entire time you're drinking and, you know, pissing in the water. No one fucking mentions that, but it happens.
Sure.
Okay. And you literally drink all day. Well, I did my first one ever in Southern California. And
Wow.
apparently Southern California is closer to the sun than Kansas, because when I went there, white boy turned into a fucking Native
Lobster.
American real quick.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Lobster.
Dude, I was so drained from the sun and the fact that I drank. I was broke back then, so don't judge. Probably 30 natty lights. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. Like in like a 5-6 hour period. And we get to the end and we had people like pick us up, and I was staying at a friend's house and they drove us back to her house, and the night before we had pizza at this like local place. I forget what it's called, but they like customize all the pizzas, whatever you want. And so I go lay down, I go take a shower and then lay down, and I get back up at like probably 6 o'clock, and I go into my friend and her family's like living room, and I'm like, I'm gonna order from that pizza place. What do you guys want? And they're like, oh, okay, well, 2 nights in a row. And I was like, I'm starving for anything right now. I'm so hungry. And at that point, I wasn't full Native American, but I pretty much had.
Oh, yeah. We're
Yeah.
like 10 minutes behind, but
That's
we're
fine.
live.
That's cool.
So I'm gonna stop recording then.
why?
Why? Just leave in case.
It
For
doesn't
what?
matter. Yeah,
It's
just,
live. It's already
You
going
can
on.
delete
No,
it
but
after.
we delete
it's
it
fine.
after.
All right,
Yeah.
all right,
Yeah.
all right.
So
So you're waiting for the pizza.
I was like, I want pepperoni and jalapeno, and they're like, yeah, I'm good with that. And I was like, no, I'm gonna eat an entire pepperoni and jalapeno by myself.
Yep.
So what do you guys want? And I paid for like 5-6 pizzas or something like that to feed the whole family and group. And I ate like 3 slices, and I slept from like 7:30 to 8 a.m.
Oh, you slept a
Like,
whole 12 hours.
and then I woke up like fucking burnt, man,
Oh,
off my ass burnt. And that sun and the reflection off of the fucking river, and the fact that it's a hotter place than I'm used to, and of course all the alcohol, I was so fucked up. I was so tired. And then I woke up, the next day, and we were like, let's go do something. My friend and I drive north to the casinos from Fresno, and she forgot her ID.
oh, great.
And
How
I
long
felt
was the drive?
it was like an hour and a half.
Fuck
Shit.
that.
I felt terrible, and she's like, just go in, like gamble without me. I'll stay in the car. And I was like, no. She's like, please, just go in. Like, I don't want to ruin the whole trip. So I went in, and I had a $20 bill in cash, and I was gonna get some out of the ATM or whatever.
Yep.
But I saw a slot machine, put 20 in, was like, fuck it. I hit it all, and I ended up not winning the jackpot, but like it,
Couple $100.
it won, it won whatever it was. And I turned that 20 into like $400, and I instantly take it to the table. I was like, cash me out. And I walk out with like
Yeah.
fucking $400.
How long were you in there?
10 minutes top. And she's like, what the fuck, you're already here? And I was like, I won, let's go. Like,
I had a similar experience in Duluth Casino.
yeah.
Derek had to go to the bathroom. We pulled over. I think we were in there for maybe 15 minutes. I put $20 in, won $300-400. I was like, let's go. It's
Tap
a
it out.
trip.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Those are the best ones.
Yeah.
And the next day we went to Tijuana,
Wow.
which is not smart for, she's half Hispanic and white, and I'm full white. And we drove her car into Mexico, where you don't have insurance if you're in another country. Parked, drank our asses off at a bar, and then drove back across the border.
Damn.
And we're like, later on in life, I was like, how did we not get like,
Yeah.
beat the shit out of and like taken advantage of and cartelled, whatever. That's a verb. That's
Yeah,
fine.
of course.
Cartelled.
Of course it is.
It's what you do.
Yeah. I'm gonna cartel that motherfucker. That's what I'm gonna say to like the next time a fucking homeless guy comes into the store. I'm gonna cartel that motherfucker. He better get out of here.
It's crazy.
Yeah, we were questioning because of the way we're doing this if this is 18 or up. So if you're 18, you're fine. But below that, go home. Go turn this off.
Yeah, honestly, anybody younger than that, get the fuck
Please.
out. Get the fuck
No,
out of here.
not please. I'll cartel your ass. All right.
I don't know if you could say that.
Yeah, we
about
might be
mine.
done.
Yeah, that's the one right
Yeah.
there.
As long as you don't mention 2020 virus, you're fine on YouTube.
Oh, you can't talk about it?
You can't say the name of it or
Really?
red flag it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it, but
Yeah.
That's crazy. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I thought I mentioned it like those times a couple weeks ago.
I mean, it might have been before we got really big and no one noticed. But,
We had 12 views and then 9 views like back to back.
that's pretty good.
I mean,
Couple weeks
hey,
ago.
if we're nothing else, we're consistent. We're
That's true.
putting out a product.
We got a lot of content.
Yeah.
58 fucking episodes.
That's a lot. I'm gonna have to get a webcam. We're gonna have to figure out how to do it remotely. because there's.
I bet would be easier than this
Yeah,
shit.
it's gonna be a lot better for like sound. And
In all
yeah,
honesty,
it's-
I think, and I've thought about this, at my place, we could set it up in the kitchen to face the wall and have a backdrop or something like that, put dinosaurs on it, who knows, whatever. Put a green screen.
we're each gonna have our own little studio.
I know. I'm just saying, like, you're obviously, both of you are welcome, but you're obviously further away at this
Yeah.
point. But we could face it'd be good
Yeah, but
lighting.
if we
Light
were-
would be right above us.
If
It'd
you
be
were
fine.
doing it like that, I'd say we should do it to a point where it is like, because if I was sitting at my desk facing everyone and like had my in-ear monitors with one microphone, it would look a lot better, and I can put whatever the fuck I want behind me.
Yeah, the sound would be
Same
different.
with you guys, like.
True. That's
I
true.
just don't know, like, that's the biggest thing.
That's Future Sage's problem. Anyway,
yeah.
did you
He's
guys
gonna be on
know-
his phone and just, do I got it?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. We just see his cheek.
Random thing, but I got blender bottle lids. I didn't know that you could order just the lids, because for the people that like me, crank them on so there's no leakage.
Yeah.
I always crack the motherfuckers.
What's happened to mine?
Yeah,
I
you
always-
can buy just the lids.
Oh.
I always
They're like
flip it up
$4
and
each.
down too hard, and then it gets
Cracks
to the point
there.
it's a little loose, like
Yeah.
it won't actually seal.
So blender bottle, if you go to their website, they sell the actual lids for like $4 or
Are
$5.
we sponsored by them?
Not yet, but
Okay.
we're about to be.
But they're the best bottles. And
And it fits. They do.
They come with those little metal freaking spiral things to
Just
mix
shake
up.
her
Yeah. It's good for hot chocolate, coffee, chocolate milk.
What the fuck?
protein shakes.
Oh yeah, protein shakes.
Yeah, the thing they were invented for.
We don't want these assholes as
Yeah.
sponsors.
Chocolate milk's the worst, man. You can never mix it right. Like, there's always, you drink all the milk, and then there's either syrup or caked powder at the bottom.
That's true. Or you got the little chunky
I hate to
floats
tell
at
you
the
this.
top.
For
I
it.
hate to tell you this. There's pre-mixed chocolate milk.
Oh, yeah, and it's horrible. I'd rather
weird,
put
yeah.
my own amount of chocolate in there.
Because
True-
you're a
true
chocolate
move.
fiend, apparently.
True Moo might be the
me
best
of all
one.
people, that's the only
True
sugary
It might
thing
be the
I'll
best
drink.
one.
Chocolate milk, really?
I
I'm
love
kinda-
chocolate.
Yeah,
like,
alright.
fucking love chocolate.
Especially as a kid at school.
Oh, yeah.
Holy
I think
heck.
the only pre-mixed ones that are good are the ones in the gallons. Like, Nesquik
Oh, sure.
sucks. The little bottles.
True
like,
Mew is
True
pretty
Moo is
good.
the best out of like
Moo.
the quick ones.
yeah.
But it's not even that great.
Because I always hate, people used to drink that Yahoo, and I was like,
Yeah,
this
it's
is
Water and Hershey's
It's
syrup.
not even chocolate milk. It
No.
says on the bottle it's a chocolate
It's
drink.
not a
Yeah.
website. It's Yoo-hoo. Not Yahoo.
He said Yoo-hoo, didn't he?
No, I
said
said
Yahoo.
Yahoo.
Oh, did you say-
I did not mean to
Oh,
do that.
Oh shit, that's awesome.
You said True Mew.
True Mew.
like
True Mew. It's fine. It's the Mews
like
in
the
my life.
Pokemon.
I don't get that reference.
Did
but
you
sure.
want? This is why I'm here, for the younger audience.
With your Pokemon references?
Yeah, absolutely.
But
Did you
can't
like
get a
the first
webcam
Pokemon movie?
for it.
As a kid,
I did
yeah.
too, yeah.
As
Now
a
you
kid.
watch it, it's kinda
Yeah,
shitty.
you're like, yeah.
Have you
I
watched?
still cry with Pikachu.
Have
He's
you watched
dying.
Yeah.
the detective?
He's crying
Pikachu?
for-
Yeah, that one's good.
I like that.
I like
one.
that one.
Did
too.
you watch Roadhouse?
No,
No.
yeah.
Man,
Did you like it?
I have it on
yes,
my
I
list.
did.
He loves it. The
I-
fucking Rotten Tomatoes is terrible.
I think I'm biased from the being a UFC fan, and like there was a lot of great action clips in it. Conor McGregor as a villain is like,
Nah.
yeah, you can barely understand him. He's always smiling, like,
I saw.
He's on something, dude.
yeah.
Oh yeah, dude, it's
Yeah.
like 100 pounds heavier than when he started.
Not even steroids. He's just
Yeah.
like on some kind
Oh,
of
he was
yeah.
fucking ripped in that movie. Like,
Yahoo!
Yeah.
yeah.
Did you see the bite at UFC?
Yeah, that was
Uh-huh.
awesome. Well, it wasn't awesome, but it was cool the way it
He's
all
gone.
ended. Yeah, they cut him
Right.
immediately.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they did.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I get. That's, man.
Oh,
How
I
can you
watched
come back
that
from that?
30 for 30 recommended.
Rodman?
No. The UFC one with Chuck Liddell and
Shamrock?
no, it's Tito Ortiz.
Tito Ortiz.
It's
yeah.
amazing, man.
Yeah.
It reminds me of like the '90s rivalry with The Rock and Stone Cold.
Oh, nice.
Because Tito Ortiz is like all flashy, he's got nice
Yeah.
clothes on,
Yeah.
and then you got Chuck, who's the blue collar badass. And
Yeah.
It's like, I'm gonna take that fucking belt.
You know what's crazy about that era is Shamrock couldn't beat Tito Ortiz, and Tito Ortiz couldn't beat Chuck Liddell, but Shamrock could beat Chuck Liddell. And it was like
like a
this weird
triangle,
triangle of like, what the fuck is happening?
Yep.
Yeah.
And at the same time, Shamrock is the first person really to go from UFC to WWE. and so he's still doing that part time too, and it was just kind of a weird, fucked up era of like these, to some degree, like washed up fighters at the time. I mean, but they were all still good.
Yeah.
And no one else could beat them in that division. That was the thing. It was just them three back and forth over and over. I always liked Tito Ortiz. He was married to Jenna Jameson for a while, so he had my heart. But
He's fucking a dirty porn
I
star.
know.
Oh, man.
clutch my pearls. Jenna's got a special place in my heart. What can I say?
Right.
But
Who's the new Jenna Jameson today?
oh, dude, there's probably 10 of them.
Oh, okay. That's
To
fair.
be honest, I mean, I don't know.
I'm just wondering who's like married to the athlete that's like.
Oh,
getting
I
that
don't know
exposure.
that.
Yeah,
I don't know
can't.
that. I was gonna say I could name some big porn stars, but I don't
No,
know.
I'm trying to think of
Yeah.
like. That's mixing that entertainment with another industry.
I don't know of any off the top of my head. I'm sure there is some
Yeah.
that are like either married to an athlete or dating an athlete or movie star or something like that.
Right.
It's funny because porn doesn't blend into the movie stardom very well,
Mm-mm.
but it does bleed into athletics.
Yeah, because it's always like
Yeah.
the couples.
It's weird how that is. That's odd. I think regular actors are like porn actors aren't like.
Didn't he
On
beat
my
the shit
level,
out of
Yeah.
her?
No, you're thinking of God, I cannot think of her name. It wasn't Jenna Jameson. It was the girl after her, the main.
But who's the fighter that beat her up?
God, I cannot think of that.
Sorry,
War
man,
Machine.
We'll change it, though.
War
We'll-
Machine.
All right.
And I gotta look it up. But
Alright.
his nickname was War Machine on UFC cards.
Okay. The 300 is not that great. It's
Is
got
it
good
really
fights
April
all around.
13th?
Yeah.
God damn it.
What?
We're going to Topgolf for the big celebration.
Oh, cool.
It's like 8 to 10. I'm sure they'll be playing
Oh, yeah.
it on there, but
Like-
right when the main event is starting is probably going to be when our time is up.
Sure.
So it's
All the
like-
fights are good, but there's not a great fight.
Yeah.
For like,
The O'Malley fight was so fucking good.
it was good.
It was so good.
Christy Mack is the one that got beat.
Who's the one that beat her up though?
War Machine?
Okay.
Yeah. Basically, he caught her like having sex with somebody off camera and beat
Went
the
off.
shit out of him
Yeah.
and then beat the shit out of her.
Damn.
And then he's still in prison.
That's crazy. It's like, isn't that her job? Like,
Isn't that his job?
yeah. Well, that's true.
Dude, that's a fucking great rebuttal.
Amen.
You should have been his lawyer. Like, they said that they gave him more years because they considered his hands and feet to be lethal weapons.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Which, I mean,
It's
makes
true.
sense, but if by that definition, isn't her vagina?
A lethal weapon?
What?
I don't
I
know.
mean,
what he's
she
getting at.
committed a
I was
crime.
guessing.
She committed a crime with it. In that case, that's adultery if it's off camera.
Oh, I see.
Depends
what you're saying.
on what state.
I'm sure it was California. Why?
Or Nevada.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if it's a no-fault state, they won't give a shit.
I mean, he was at fault,
Yeah.
obviously. I mean, but he beat the shit out of her and him. So,
Damn.
yeah, that's crazy shit there.
Bless him.
I don't
Thank
even... That was just an overall crazy story. Like, if you're going to marry a porn star, how can you be a jealous person?
You got to be
Like,
able to just let
yeah,
it go.
yeah.
Like detach
in
from it.
any instance.
Yeah. Like, man.
And as a trained fighter, that should be like a instant red flag. Like, don't hit anybody outside of the octagon.
Yeah.
It's easier said than done. though.
Yeah.
I get
there's
it. Like,
still
the
a-
world is the world, but you should be able to walk away knowing, like, I could kill you right now.
Right.
So,
Oh, for sure, when... what the fuck just happened? I don't
dimmed.
know. It dimmed, for sure. But when... I would say I have been with semi-pro fighters when a, like, crowd fight broke out. And the first thing they do is, like, we gotta go.
yeah.
Like, I gotta get out of this. Because if they get involved...
People
then,
are getting
yeah,
hurt.
Yeah. And it's really not worth it to them at all, at any level, to make that... I mean, what are they going to do? Brag about they knocked some civilian out that has never fought a day in his life, and
Yeah.
you've had 100,000 hours of
That's,
fighting.
that's the one thing I like about the Roadhouse movie is the comedy from Jake Gyllenhaal. Like,
Yeah.
he makes a joke out of everything in that movie. It is- he literally, the first fight scene, he slaps a guy. He's like, "Oh my god, I just slapped you. Are you okay?" And then just smacks him again. Yeah.
So it's really good. You'd recommend
I
it?
liked. I'm very partial to action movies.
Yeah.
The story writing, it was it was decent. It had its moments. It also had the like there's a
Have you seen the original?
yeah.
Okay.
It's a different story. It's
Okay.
a remake, not a revamp.
Okay,
So-
gotcha. Because the original I thought was an okay story, but it was a guy that nobody in that movie was like a real fighter in real life. So it was kind of like, oh, these are just scrappy dudes that know how to hold themselves, and Patrick Swayze is like at the time was like one of the top up and coming actors. So
Yeah.
it was like a big deal. Where Jake Gyllenhaal is well established at this
Yeah.
point.
He's been
And-
acting for like 20 years.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's been in some really good
He
ones.
has been.
But
Gyllenhaal, I think he's a very solid actor. He has had Nightcrawler is a movie that I'm like was
He was in
blown away by.
Donnie Darko. wasn't
Donnie
he?
Darko
Yeah, that was a
really
weird
good.
one. I mean,
Yeah, but Nightcrawler, like, to me, established him as like a real, like, okay, this guy can fucking act. Like, there was movies before that where I had glimpses of that,
the
but
Brothers with him and
yeah.
oh
that's
shit!
solid
Yeah, you're
too.
right.
Yeah,
Whoever
yeah.
put that together, they were like, "Oh, I got this."
yeah.
Just seeing them.
Yeah. That's kind of how it felt. And that's where it is cool in this movie is you get that villain that's like just as highly trained as him.
McGregor
Yeah.
is the
Yeah.
villain.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I assumed he would be, and there's like all sorts of like weird cameos and tiny little snippets of people acting in it that I've heard about that I'm like, okay, that's kind of weird, but whatever. For
Yeah.
a certain movie, it just works. Big fight scenes, you can throw fucking 50 people in there
Oh,
that
yeah.
no one notices. But there's like MTV has The Challenge. Have you ever seen that? Where the game show where they compete against each other and like
It's like Mario Party, but real life.
Oh,
okay. And it's anyway, one of the like big guys on there makes a cameo in it, and I was like, that's fucking weird. But they're like, it's 5 seconds in a fight scene. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, that makes sense. Like you can throw a lot of people in there when it's just a fucking brawl of
Yeah.
bodies. But I recently watched The Voyagers. It's got the little short dude from Phone Booth,
Oh, Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell, and there's some other actors in it that
He
were
is
pretty
short.
Is
good.
he short? I was trying to think. I'm like, how tall?
I
is
think
he?
No,
he's
I
like
think
5'2" or
Yeah.
something.
Wow.
No, I don't
I'm
think
taller
he's
than
probably
Colin
like
Farrell.
5'7".
Oh no,
I don't think
look
he's
it
that
up.
short.
I
That's like
think he's
Kevin
short.
Hart short.
Yeah, that he's short too. Anyway, Colin Farrell plays like the dad of these like people that go into outer space and they find this planet.
He's 5'10". That's a lie. He's
No
5. That's what he
fucking
said.
way.
5'10".
He's 5'10".
Boom.
Get out of here.
They can see.
That's
Yeah,
bullshit.
they can see.
That is bull. I saw him in Phone Booth, and I know the average height of a phone booth, and he's not 5'10". Okay.
Filmed it on his
Yeah.
No shit. He was on fucking stilts or something. If that's whatever. But
I saw the Wonka movie.
oh yeah, how was
It was
that?
actually pretty good. I liked
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
I've heard
It's-
kind of mixed reviews, honestly.
It's actually better than the original in some ways. Yeah.
Wait, like way
What-
back?
like that one's,
70s?
yeah, that one's
Okay.
great for like kids, but this
Yeah.
one's like it's actually got like an ABC story.
Fair.
Yeah.
But this Voyager movie, it was on Netflix, and it was basically Colin Farrell's like the dad of this group that's going to a planet that's like 84 of our years away.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to reproduce, and like their grandkids are going to be
Yeah.
the ones. But then he dies by like a freak accident, and they have like protocol, and they have to vote on who's next in charge, and they're all like teenage kids, and it's Lord of the Flies in space, basically.
Gotcha.
Like it becomes kind of chaos, And it's pretty interesting. I wouldn't say it was like an excellent movie, but I liked it. It was a decent story, and it was interesting because that type of shit is bound to happen at some point, you know.
I watched a show called The Righteous Gemstones. It's about it's on
familiar.
HBO, and it's got John Goodman in it, and it's about his family, and it's like a Christian camp, and they're like pastors, right? But they got all this shit going on, so they're like trying to save face and get money in, while everything around them is like crumbling apart.
Yeah.
But it's like comedy, it's action. It's probably one of my
Is
favorite
it like
shows.
real
right now.
life? Or
No, it's fictional, but it's based
script?
off of like
Yeah.
you know these over the top
Yeah.
preachers, and it's funny. It's got the dude from Workaholics in it.
Which one?
Adam Devine, the short
Divine,
one.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
funny in that.
Yeah.
I went and saw Dune 2.
What was that?
It's pretty good. It was way better than the first, in my opinion.
I heard your first
Yeah.
one. You were talking about the microphone.
Oh my god.
Oh
I
yeah.
was like, really?
I'm a kind of film nerd, and when I see things like that, like the boom mic just
Yeah.
dip into the fucking, I'm like, oh my god, like how do you spend millions and millions of dollars and not catch that, like in editing or something? Anyway,
We've had tons of
regardless.
IT
Yeah.
problems, so I get it.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Well, yeah, this is nowhere near a multi-million-dollar production, but
It will be.
yeah, at some point, get
That'd be
that,
crazy.
get those Dune bucks in here, and but there was so the whole. Have you guys seen the first Dune, the most recent one?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Okay, well, it's the first,
Especially
Dune,
not after your review.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
The story-wise, it was a lot of setup. It was basically a guy, the king.
spoiler alert.
Yeah, well,
He's about to
it's
tell
like
you the whole
4 years old, whatever. But the king dies, and his son then goes in with this group that he's not supposed to be.
This sounds like the Lion King.
I was thinking
Sort
Romeo, and Juliet.
yeah, Hamlet.
Hamlet,
Yeah. We were just talking about that, but I love. As a kid, I saw Lion King as a story. I was like, this is the greatest story ever.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, yeah, okay. And then I read Hamlet as a teenager, and I'm
Yeah.
like, this is the Lion King. What the
Yeah.
fuck? Anyway, but a kid goes into a group, and basically they think he's like the Messiah.
Oh,
And
okay.
then he ends up... Story 1, or Dune 1, is a lot of setup and a lot of like origin type shit. And then 2 is a lot more action and like what happens. But
Gotcha.
there's like the finale scene of like this fight that happens. I won't ruin it for you guys, but there's like imagine we're gonna have like a fucking sword fight or something, and it's like, you guys ready? You ready? You ready? You know, everybody's got swords, and then this one guy says a line that you're just like, fuck, man, I give up. Like, it was such a good line that you're just like, holy shit, man, fuck it, you won. It was such like a ball breaker of a line, but they distinguish the villain in it very well, and the hero essentially, and then there's like Florence Pugh is the princess in it, the princess of the big high president type guy, and then Zendaya's in it, and
Yeah.
I heard someone asked.
there's some big
people on the
names
streets.
in
It's like, what's Zendaya's last name?
I don't know. Is it
Zendaya?
It's not
Zendaya?
Zendaya. I had to look it up. I forgot already.
Zendaya Smith or
It's
something?
something
I don't
weird.
know.
But yeah, I was like,
I don't know.
how do people not know her last name?
And then David Batista's in it. He's the leader of like a rebel group.
Nice. Oh, are you hearing a bunch of wrestling stories from your coworker right now?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 'cause
leading
there's
up
some
to
shit, yeah.
WrestleMania.
Roman Reigns.
Zen-
I'll check
Zen-
out Bleacher Report, and The Rock's coming back. That's the whole thing. So
Zendaya Marie Stormer Coleman.
Coleman is a
That's a gay last name for Zendaya being your first name.
Yeah, that's why she
Yeah.
doesn't promote it.
Zendaya Coleman. Yeah.
Stormer Coleman.
Stormer, yeah. I make flashlights in my spare time.
Shut the fuck up.
Shout out to Coleman.
Yeah.
Coleman
All
Lanterns
your
are
camping
awesome.
needs. Get
Yeah.
them. Call Zendaya.
From Mays, Kansas, where I went to high school, by the way.
wow.
They have a factory there. By the way,
You guys got a bunch of snow out in Kansas. Kansas and Missouri got dumped.
Well, it was the same shit that went through here.
No, but it was like the
Worse. Yeah. Okay. Like I was on a training at work, and they brought up like it was like a pipeline company or something, and they're like, "This is why you should use our pipes," and blah blah blah, and you should do this for businesses, and giving us all the facts on it, and then they're like, "We're opening up a new factory in Mays, Kansas," and I was like, "What the fuck?" Like literally, it's a suburb of Wichita, and for someone to say Mays, Kansas instead of Wichita, Kansas, it's like, fuck off. That's literally like naming some tiny little suburb outside of New York City and calling it by that suburb. It's like, you're in New York City. Come on. Like, it's literally a mile. They touch borders, you know. There's nothing in between. But yeah, anyway, I always crack up when there's stuff like that. When someone's like, oh, this is some rural area of town. It's like, no, that's in fucking middle of a city now.
Sure.
But only locals will really understand that.
Everyone else is like, wow, it's Mays, Kansas.
Yeah, where the fuck is that at?
No.
By the way, I heard that a rival to Disney World is being... it's going to happen in Bonner Springs, Kansas, which is right outside of Kansas City.
The only rival to Disney World I can think of is Six Flags.
Yeah, not anymore,
What about,
apparently. Because
Orlando?
it's Mattel. So, Hot
Like
Wheels,
toys.
Barbie, shit like that, yeah.
Huh.
They'll just merge them.
I don't know,
Or
man. The
Disney-
Barbie movie did so well, that
I
could be
guess.
a new franchise.
Disney is just going to buy them at some point.
Mattel's got a lot of money, though.
They do.
You'd be
Disney has
shocked.
more.
Disney does.
They do have more, don't get me wrong.
They got ESPN and what's the other like TV rights? with
Hulu.
Yeah, I mean that's
They got Lego.
Yeah.
They own the right. They have
Yeah.
a Lego or Lego whatever in downtown Disney in Florida.
Which is also 20th Century Fox.
Sure.
I always wondered how they did it, but in the Lego Village, like there's a whole bunch of giant Lego statues, and in the river, a deep ass fucking river, they have a dragon coming out of the water. And I'm like, did they build that all the way down, or is it on a platform?
It's on-
or
it's
probably
like,
on
what
a
the fuck
platform.
is going
And it's
on
glued
here?
together.
Yeah.
Like I've
Or
thought
it's
about.
got encased.
I'm
and
like,
they're
they-
separated and they just have.
they
like,
have to
visuals.
take-
So you know the same shit you like glue puzzles with, you can glue Legos with.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can
Mod
make
Podge?
it Mod Podge
Yeah.
or shit like that, yeah. And you can make it basically clear as hell, and you would never
Yeah.
know until you get right up on it to see. But yeah, and it's water protectant. You know,
Yeah.
it's basically like an epoxy almost.
I just always thought it was cool seeing it as a kid. I'm like, imagining like that dragon's tall as fuck.
Yeah. Well, you even go to like Shields, and
Yeah.
Shields had last time I was there had a life-size John Elway statue, and it was like standing up throwing the football, and I was like, "The fuck, man!" And granted, you can't go over and like touch it. There's like a barrier,
Yeah.
but I mean, the fact that it's standing up, it's glued together or somehow fastened together, because like his arms back here, not supported by the body. So it could just fall off with too much weight. So I imagine
What's it
they
made
glue
out of?
It's all Lego.
Oh, Lego.
It's
Oh,
all
okay.
Lego. Yeah. By the way, if you want to go get some crazy Lego shit, go to Shields, because they have a whole fucking like 40-foot section.
I still haven't been there. I gotta go check it out.
You should check it. You
Yeah.
should take Tones
I
to see
will.
that.
They're
He would love it.
opening back up Toys R Us this year.
No way.
Like 18 stores across the country.
Supply and demand.
Yeah.
Well, I know that they open them within Macy's. They open like kiosks within Macy's, because the same parent company, I think it's Macy's, I'm pretty sure. It's either Macy's or
JCPenney,
JCPenney's
I
or
think,
something like
yeah.
that. But they open like kiosks, and then they did so well that they're like, well, we're opening stores again. And honestly, from what I've read about like bankrupt companies, like Toys R Us just had a lot of internal bullshit.
Yeah.
And people got like crazy raises that shouldn't have, and over, you know, decades that builds up to like, we can't afford to pay people now,
Yeah.
you know.
Oh, I saw the BlackBerry movie. Have you seen that one?
I don't think so.
It's like an independent.
on the phone BlackBerry.
Yeah, remember the phones? They were
Yeah.
talking about how they got started up, and it was like this nerd that had the idea that the
Of a
internet's like
typewriter.
everyone's
Yeah.
like, you know, the internet's in the air. He's like, it's basically like the Force. So they find this pitch guy, and he's played by Dennis on Always Sunny.
Oh, okay.
So he's like bald in this movie, and he's like a
Damn.
real dickhead. And
Well-
he's basically like the Steve Jobs villain. So he starts pushing all these phones, and they're like, well, we don't have enough servers. He's like, what the fuck is a server? Let's figure this out. So he starts buying people from Google, different big companies at the
Yeah.
time. And then all of a sudden, as soon as the iPhone came out, they just went under.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
the
that
iPhone,
used to be the biggest.
It was a great phone.
Oh, the
I
thing
loved
was,
it.
and being the elder in this situation, I'll tell you, the BlackBerry was great for people that wanted to return emails quickly.
Yeah.
And it was really a businessman's phone.
Mm-hmm.
And then what the iPhone did to change that is like, one, you could browse easier, but it was music.
No, yeah, and you have a full screen.
Yeah, well,
Rather
that
than you're
too.
cut
Yeah,
off.
yeah. But the fact that you could, music was the big part of it because it
They
was
had
like,
the iPod. First.
yeah,
Yeah, it was
and
like
it was like
free.
iPods getting eliminated. We're combining it onto the iPhone,
Yep.
which is everything a BlackBerry has, and
Plus
music
more.
now.
You
And-
remember that
yeah.
little iPod Nano?
Yeah.
Yes, the mini.
Nothing.
Yeah.
It was literally just like a
Tiny
belt
little,
clip,
yeah.
and you were like, I don't know what fucking playlist I'm listening
And that
to.
shit would still cost like $75.
Yeah.
That's insane.
$75 like 30 years ago.
That was, yeah.
Well, I don't know about 30, but 20 years
20,
ago.
yeah.
But it's amazing how like one little innovation takes it much further. And I shit on Apple a lot, but I will give Apple credit for this. They were the first ones to be like, what do people want on the go? And everyone already had a phone. They already could surf the internet terribly, but they
Yeah.
could surf the internet. They could return emails. It's like, what else do you want on the go? And it's like, oh, music.
Mhm.
Music is the thing. And I'm going to answer his phone here. I don't know.
I think that's his business phone. I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Just click the volume button.
Anyway, so they combined all that. And it was really giving the people what they wanted, let's be honest. And somebody was going to do it eventually, but Apple was clearly the first to do it. So I'll give them props in that aspect. I think it's been perfected 50 times over since then,
Sage
of
took a
course.
business call for you.
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
Thank you.
it's that rando. I don't know. Anyway, yeah. I don't know what else, how I was going on that, but I guess, giving Apple a little props for doing that first and putting it into a phone. And really, now with AI technology, so much is on your phone, it's insane. It really
Yeah.
is.
It's stupid. You're so reliant on this thing for directions, for entertainment, for your schedule.
If the
Yeah.
internet goes down, we are
America's fucked.
Oh, a blackout? Yeah. For even 30 days, imagine that. I'd go crazy. I can't game anymore.
Not even 30 days.
Austin would
You
be on
go-
heroin.
I just, yeah,
I'm telling
maybe.
you.
Anything's possible.
The infrastructure of America would falter after a few days without the internet. It would not take a month at all.
Yeah.
Like chaos would be happening in a month.
Can you imagine doing our jobs 30 years
But
ago?
I'm not even
Yeah.
talking about like
You better have a lot of coke on you. Is all I gotta say, because you're gonna have to go several places a time. Being in outside sales,
Yeah.
you gotta be driving like a motherfucker.
Yeah, and you got a
everywhere.
fax machine, everything.
Yeah, you gotta
whatever.
fax everything. You gotta document everything by fucking.
Well, I'm just
pen.
talking about like not even just the internet, the grid, all electricity.
Yeah.
Wow.
If you're not stocked up right now, you can't even go pay for anything at the grocery store. You
No,
better
okay.
be ready to go loot.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, and that's it's really weird because America only has 3 grids. Well, 4 if you count Alaska. But they basically have East Coast, West Coast, Alaska, and Texas.
yeah.
And that's it. Like, Texas is on its own grid, but it is the weakest by far. Like, any sort of fucking storm happens in Texas.
Yeah.
I have family members in Texas that are like, nothing we can do right now.
The
Yeah.
great thing
Yeah.
of Texas is it's central, so it
Yeah.
disperses to both
Yeah.
coasts.
Yeah.
And their grid is backed up by both coasts.
Sure.
So,
And they have a
yeah.
lot of guns, so.
Yeah,
That's
they do.
true. And Mexico's right next door. You could just,
I feel like Alaska would be a safe place to move to. Like, if you ever thought something like shit was gonna hit the fan,
It'd be tough, but
you'd
it'd be
have to
safe.
survive the
Yeah.
wilderness. But
Yeah.
no one's going like, let's invade Alaska. It's -40 right
You
now.
say
No
that.
Russians would.
Our biggest fucking
Yeah, the
rival right
Russians
now
would.
is right next
because they're
door.
right. Yeah, they're so close to
Yeah,
it.
but still.
Like literally, I love how there's that island, the island between.
Hawaii?
No, the island. Yeah, that's way south. The island between Alaska and Russia, it's split, and it's half, or there's two islands. I mean, sorry, they're right next to each other, but they're like a mile apart, and they're split down the middle of the, not only the timeline but the date line. So basically, they're a mile apart from each other, but they're 23 hours apart from each other. And,
Oh, because when
Yeah.
you switch over, you're in a different day.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
That's crazy.
yeah, and they're like the most secluded islands, you know, anywhere near there. But have you guys ever heard of the Nemo spot? I forget what it's called. It's something Nemo, but named after Nemo
The
from
fish?
Finding Nemo.
Okay.
But it's basically the closest island to it is the one Easter Island
Okay.
with the crazy statues and shit like that.
Mhm.
So south of Hawaii. And when you're in this spot, which is a common shipping lane, when you're in this spot, the closest person to you is the International Space Station.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So good luck if you get in a fucking shipwreck there.
Yeah.
Like, you're done. That's also where they, like, bombed a bunch of shit when they were testing nuclear weapons. So
I started Oppenheimer. I didn't. I
yeah.
fell asleep. It's long.
It's a long
Yeah,
ass
it's
movie,
I
but it's
started
really
too late.
good.
Yeah, I didn't. I
I gotta say,
just gotta
like,
finish it.
Robert Downey Jr. as a what do you call it, side character,
Yeah.
supporting actor.
Mhm.
He won the award for
His
it,
first Oscar.
but it also was like, which is shocking.
It did
Yeah,
a little bit,
right, yeah.
but yeah, he's been in such
Yeah.
like action movies that it's hard.
Yeah,
to really,
action movies don't get as
They
much
don't.
clout, but saying that, he did a great job playing kind of the protagonist villain type, I guess, in that movie. But I mean, it's a lot of dialogue, obviously, and there's, you know, probably 15 minutes of action in a 2.5-hour movie.
Yep.
You know, so the bomb goes off and you're like, oh, that was awesome, and then you're like, there's fucking 45 minutes left. Like, what the fuck? Like,
That's how I felt about Lord of the Rings 3, dude.
oh,
Oh, that
Holy
was
shit! I was in the theater. I was like, when does this end?
And I was so
Lord of the Rings in general,
I can't. Do
This
it.
is
I was
why I
so
don't like
into
Harry
it,
Potter and
but
Lord
I
of the Rings.
still Harry Potter's not even close to that long. Not a single movie.
but the
But it's
overall
8
series,
episodes,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, but I don't know. Even the Hobbit movies, they were long,
Check
but
that,
they did it.
10, because of the Hobbits.
That's only 6.
6.
I thought there was 8 episodes of the regular.
No, there's 3.
and then 3 prequels, which is the Hobbit series.
There's only 3 Harry Potter movies?
No,
No,
Lord of
there's-
the Rings.
No, I'm talking, sorry.
Harry Potter.
There's
There's
7 or 8 films.
technically 9 because there's 8, but part 8 is split into 2 movies.
Oh, I see.
Wait, so the Hobbits are part of the Lord of the Rings?
No.
Yes, the Hobbit movies.
Oh yeah, I
are
thought you said Harry Potter.
The,
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
Hobbit movies are the prequel story.
The
to
Hobbit's
Lord
actually
of the
pretty
Rings.
good.
And but even
Okay, I thought they were part of Harry Potter.
the
That's what
Desolation of
confused me.
Smaug
Gotcha.
was like over 3 hours in runtime, but it did not feel like it.
Is
like
that the one
Return
with
of
the
King.
dragon in
Yeah.
the cave?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you've seen the Hobbit movies?
Yes. I have slept through most of them, but yes, I've seen them. I
That's
just
crazy.
don't, medieval stuff to me, any sort of castles and magic and wizardry and dragons, I never got into. I don't know what it is. It just reminds me of the Bible, I guess. I don't know. It's just just as fictional.
He watches
But-
Jurassic Park. He's
Yeah.
like, no, the world's
Yeah,
only
no,
2,000
yeah.
years old. Fuck this.
First of all, dinosaurs are proven to have existed. Dragons are not.
If
Yeah,
you believe
fair.
in dinosaurs, how could you not believe in a dragon?
'Cause
It's
they
the
fly.
same
Bones?
fucking thing.
Bones in the ground?
Yeah,
I don't
Maybe
know.
we haven't gone deep enough into the cave.
The feathers
sure.
probably just dissolved, you know. Just
I gotta tell you, any animal that could fly and breathe fire would not be taken over by any other animal. And an asteroid,
that would
an
be-
asteroid wouldn't
Yeah.
even do it. No, it
Yes,
wouldn't.
it would.
Just
Yeah.
fucking jump off the ground and fly around for a while. You're
covered in
fine.
smoke.
Fucking fly south. You're fine. You'll find another area.
I think the implosion, because it's kind of like a nuke, there'd be force that would
Are you
fly.
guys, time out, are you guys saying that there were dragons before meteors?
There could have been.
Oh my fucking god. I'm not drunk enough for this conversation. No fucking way. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Do
Well,
you
now
guys
I know
really
how
believe
to,
in dragons?
now I know how to amp him up.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's just so absurd to me.
They were around like with the centaurs, you know.
Oh my
you gotta watch Great Game of Thrones.
With
dude.
fucking krakens in the sea too. And Megs.
So you didn't like
Megs
the movie?
and
You remember
Godzillas?
the movie King Arthur
I don't think I ever
in
watched
2007?
it. No, I did not watch that. I don't think.
Natalie Portman and I think Gerard, but no, who's the guy that played Gladiator?
Russell Crowe.
Yeah,
Russell
Russell
Crowe.
Crowe's in it.
I don't think I watched that.
Holy shit!
King
Have you
Arthur?
seen it?
What's it called?
King Arthur.
No, I haven't.
What?
I don't think I've seen it. You know, man, I'm gonna tell you, you and you and Travis,
Don't compare me.
purple tiger head.
Well, you already fucked it
yeah,
up.
it doesn't matter. It's clearly not watching. Purple tiger head, whatever. Every time, because I fucking watch a lot of movies and I'm kind of a cinema nerd, whenever I don't...
You've never seen that.
I've seen
never
the
that.
advertisement,
Never
definitely.
seen that.
Crazy.
Send me
Whenever you guys say a movie and you're like, have you seen this? And I say no, you both have the exact same reaction. Like, you're so appalled at my existence at that moment.
I
You're
said,
just,
what?
Unbelievable.
I
That's
didn't say that. I just said, what?
You have in the past.
Never.
Yes,
No.
absolutely. That one you recommended with the short dude from the phone booth. Colin Farrell.
Seven Psychopaths?
Yes. When you
I
said...
don't think I did. say
Yes, you did.
Unbelievable.
When I said I hadn't watched it,
Maybe
you're like,
because that's
man,
a
you
movie,
need to watch
That's
this.
a movie that's up your
It's
alley.
it's a good movie. I will
Did
say.
you watch it?
That's a good movie.
Nice.
Yeah, so unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Now, King Arthur is a very serious fucking movie, and it's like
Is it like a real depiction of the real King Arthur?
the seven Knights of the Round Table. And
Gotcha.
all-
I know
and
the
it
story.
It's fucked
It's
up.
been in several movies, but yeah, like a depiction of that story
And
specifically.
it's not like no dragons or so. It's medieval, but it's just
It's realistic.
Don't get me wrong. There's some medieval movies that I'm like, okay, this was decent, you know. Like the Heath Ledger movie,
Yeah.
Knight's Tale.
Knight's Tale was pretty decent. I liked that. And that was, you could even say that was...
Men in Tights. Yeah, that was.
You know what's weird? Now
Get the
that you
fuck
say
outta
this,
here.
when
You've
you
never have you seen
I've
that
seen
one?
it and didn't like it.
you don't like
What?
medieval, right?
See?
Unbelievable. I don't dig stuff from like the Salem witch trials, like Back to the Future
Yeah.
stuff. Like anything that's really like dated that far, I can't get into it.
You mean Back to the Future 3?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Even though it's a western, you know, anything
Yeah,
like that,
yeah.
I'm just like I can't get into it.
I'm not big on westerns either, to be honest. There's a few that I like that are just like standard fucking great movies, like Dirty Harry and shit like that.
I wouldn't consider that a western.
Well,
but I know what you're
okay.
saying, but yeah.
But I'm trying to think of what's his name, John Wayne movies. I can't.
Right?
There's
I
a
mean,
few that are decent. I've seen a few. I've seen several of his movies, and I thought a few were decent. I understand like the craze of that in a certain time period, but that's well over now.
Mhm.
And
I don't know if they made like. There's some like if they were to make a cinema version of Red Dead Redemption, I would be pre-ordering tickets. Just from the storytelling alone. Like a western is a western, you know what you're
Sure.
going to expect,
Yep.
But saying that, I will say most video games,
like
to
Cowboys
movies,
versus Aliens, it was so fucking great as no.
I was waiting on the adverb there.
I know.
But no, I don't know a western that I'm like that's fucking phenomenal. Obviously,
1,000 Ways to Die in the West.
I actually like that movie.
Was that Seth MacFarlane?
Yeah.
That was solid.
That was good.
There's been a few. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid were okay. I don't know if I'd consider that a western.
I don't know, because they're kind of like on the run from the law. More
Yeah,
than
that's
actually is based.
kinda, yeah.
I don't know.
I really
Technically, Django Unchained is a western.
yeah, I would.
That'd probably
That's
be
probably
the
my
most-
favorite.
Yeah.
And
Christoph Waltz is fucking amazing
Dude.
in that movie, dude.
he is one of the most underrated actors in our generation. Like Tarantino found such a fucking gem.
Yes.
And he was a pretty big name actor in Europe at the time, but no one in America had really seen him in any major film. And Tarantino put him in like 3 back-to-back films, and it's like, all of a sudden it's a star.
I heard
He's
a
that
rumor.
major side character that's
He's
in
the
like
beard.
everything. Oh, okay.
He's the
Django
he's,
Unchained.
He's the
Yeah.
he's like the big honcho in
Yeah.
Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah.
That's with the Nazi party.
Oh man,
and
that,
that
first scene! Oh
it's
my
so
god,
good. Just walking around
Yeah.
all casually.
Yeah.
There's I gotta say, out of all the like dialogue scenes I've ever seen in cinema, and I grade at a very like fucking high scale. Tarantino has so many that are high up, and that's one of them.
Yeah.
I would venture to say the entire fucking film of Pulp Fiction
Yes.
was like such dialogue act. It was like if we went to commit a murder, was like Vincent Vega and Jules at the beginning. Like, you know what they call a royale with cheese?
Oh, it's
You know?
relatable.
Yeah, it's
It's
very.
very
And then it's like they only gave us 2 shotguns for this. Like, you know,
Yeah.
like it's just shit that you would say to your like real life and
Friends.
Yeah, your
Yeah.
friends and your like if it was happening to you.
Right.
And it makes it and same thing with Reservoir Dogs. Like you find out that someone is a snitch in the group.
Someone doesn't tip.
Yeah,
That
someone
whole,
does exactly.
that whole diner scene's great.
Oh man.
Shane Gillis might be his new
Yeah, I heard
season
that.
for his last film.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he would be a great one.
And you know what he said? Tarantino, I heard an interview with him, and he's like, I was looking for like a lead funny man that could be taken serious. And Saturday Night Live was the role that really cemented it for me, and I'm definitely going to
It'd be hard to see Shane Gillis try to act like serious.
No, he does-
because
he does
He'll
acting.
say something and he's always
he's
like,
decent.
He is.
He's decent.
Yeah.
But I think you give him a great director and producer
Yeah.
like
Oh,
Tarantino, it's like, okay, we're going to cut 50 times because you laughed.
yeah,
But
exactly.
we're going to get it, you know. And
I think Zac Efron should be in a movie with him too. I think he could pull it off.
dude, Zac Efron, I thought was just that.
horrible.
I honestly,
I did too when he first
from
came
his
out.
Disney days.
like
I was
Neighbors,
like, oh, this is gonna
Neighbors and shit like that. Like he's just in this rom-com bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, and then he played what's his name?
Ted Bundy.
Ted
is what
Bundy.
I thought he did great.
Oh my god, he fucking killed it.
He did.
And no pun intended there, but he killed it in that. And he really became such a like charismatic actor in that aspect, and I instantly took him serious.
Yeah.
And same thing goes for back circling all around is Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh,
Like
sure.
there's certain roles that I was like, what the fuck?
What's
this
he
guy's
doing?
like,
Yeah.
And then he plays something that you're just like, god damn, that was phenomenal. You
I
know?
think you should definitely watch Roadhouse soon.
I'll check it out.
I have it
What's
on
it
my
on,
list.
Max or
Prime.
Amazon Prime.
Prime?
Yeah. And I have it on my list, and I know that I'm gonna watch it. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah.
And I plan to watch it even before you said that, and even though I saw shitty reviews, I was like, that's still a movie I want.
I didn't know it was out yet. I've seen it advertised, but like, how long's it been out?
Oh,
Since Thursday.
I was gonna say.
Oh,
like
it's
a
brand
last
new.
week.
Yeah.
Dang, okay.
It's not old at all.
Did you guys watch any of the tournament?
A little
March
bit.
Madness?
Yeah.
So
Honestly, I'll tell you what. I've been watching the women's NCAA tournament because
what's the highest
Caitlin
score you've
Clark?
they actually, yeah, Caitlin Clark and Cameron Bryan, and then Juju Watkins.
I don't
Cameron Bryans, I think.
So after the first
They
round,
really have more.
I was in the top
stars.
10,000. I was doing so good.
I
Second
saw
round
after.
kicked my ass.
Yeah, I saw after. There was one game that happened last week, I think on Thursday, and there were like 0 brackets remaining. I was like,
It was either the Wisconsin game or the Oakland game. Because I picked Oakland, and that jumped me up to like the highest rankings.
So I years ago did a bracket, and I reached 18th of
That's crazy.
everyone on
That's
ESPN.
crazy.
And then I lost and dropped like ridiculous,
It's
like
not-
1,000 spots.
Once you
know?
lose it, it's just
Yeah.
like bloop.
Yeah.
But one of my good friend Joel back in Kansas, I was one of his groomsmen, and another guy that was his groomsman put on Facebook that he showed a screenshot of ESPN,
Yeah.
and he was 8th in the nation.
Last time you played or this year?
This year. It was before the last game, so I haven't
Okay.
like before Sunday's games.
Gotcha.
So I don't know where he's at now, but 8.
That's crazy.
I
in
thought
the
they already
nation,
called
in
their
the world or
zero
whatever.
brackets.
No
or
one's got
whatever.
perfect.
Yeah, but
brackets,
it's
you
just
still get
ranking
points.
of
Oh,
who's
yeah,
best.
yeah.
Yeah, you still win $1 million if you.
I think
are
it's
the best.
250.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
A
you
million's a perfect. bracket
Yeah,
or
and
something.
you get
250
second chances.
million?
No, 250,000.
I was like, yes.
ESPN's just like.
I don't know why I didn't sign
Disney
up.
money. Yeah.
That's good. But you can do second chance and you still win 50,000.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
I forgot to fill out a bracket, to be honest.
That's all right.
I totally spaced it.
I took North Carolina to win it. So.
Yeah, we were talking about
Oh, yeah,
that.
that's
I haven't watched hardly any college basketball, so I don't fucking know. Which
Is
is probably
anybody
good.
watching enough NBA or hockey to do early?
Not so much hockey,
championship?
but I've followed basketball
I'm
pretty
way
well.
more into hockey.
I have way more in hockey too, to be
Okay.
honest.
I was
So,
gonna
okay,
say
let's
super
talk hockey.
early Stanley Cup.
Let's talk hockey. I'm going to tell you right now, in my opinion, just because of they're getting hot at the right time, the Avalanche have a real shot.
I was gonna say it's the only team I
do
really
have
been
a shot.
following, and they
the
do.
Golden Knights have been falling. They were on
Yeah.
a tear for so long, but
I will say, out of the West, I would say the Avalanche are, in my opinion, clear favorites. I think this is
The East is
a
nuts.
redemption year for Boston this year.
Yeah.
I think they're going to go pretty far.
I don't think so. Because if
Who
they
else
don't-
is good? Florida?
Boston Rangers, actually
Rangers are actually
Florida
playing pretty
and
the Rangers.
Rangers are Florida's like 4 seed or somewhere in
Yeah.
there, right?
okay,
Something
so
like that.
then it's Boston Rangers. I know the Hurricanes and the Flyers are doing really
Okay.
well, and then
We just dumped a contract onto the Flyers.
So right
2-3
now-
weeks ago during the trade deadline,
right now in
country?
the East,
we had a player that we bought like 2 years ago, the Avalanche, and we were paying him like tons of money, and then we traded him for you to the Flyers in exchange for like 2 picks. Or we either gave you a pick with that player, we took
Are
a
you
good
sure it was
defensive player.
the last person that we picked up was
I'm gonna look it up. Hang on.
well, I'll go through the standings in the East right now. It's Florida, New York Rangers, Boston, Carolina, Toronto, Philly. The
Oh,
wild
we-
cards are Tampa and Washington. Detroit's on the out.
You guys traded Sean Walker for a first round.
yeah.
And then in the West, playoff wise, it's Colorado, Vancouver, Dallas, Edmonton, Winnipeg, Los
Where's
Angeles,
the
All
Wild
the-
at?
Nashville, and
The
Vegas.
Knights dropped.
The Wilds aren't doing too good. No.
So yeah, Colorado might. Yeah, I think on the West it would make the most sense.
So
The problem with the East is they're so, and this is the problem with NHL playoffs to begin with, is that they are so. What the?
Trying to just check a voicemail.
A 7-game series in hockey is always, you could be a 6 seed
Yeah.
facing a 1 seed.
it's the hot team wins.
and that's
really,
where I
yeah.
don't think Boston just lost to us.
Fair, but I just think that team is pretty much the same team from last year.
Yeah.
And they destroyed last year.
Yeah,
if
but
they
they-
get on a hot streak.
They're a lot like the Boston Celtics. They'll
Yeah.
choke in the first round of
Sure.
playoffs.
But if
Fucking
you're
the
if,
Nuggets beat them up.
if
dude.
it's
It was like a
really-
championship fucking.
Yeah.
The Sixers might not
Ah,
make
it's nuts,
playoffs.
dude. Well, if Embiid comes back,
if it's
in
really
April,
like
yeah.
when playoffs
Yeah.
start,
Yeah.
we're gonna have to play the first 3 games of a series
Away.
without him.
if you're really gun to head right now in the NHL, I'd say it's going to be Boston and Colorado in the finals.
I would
But
probably agree.
if you're, but saying that, I mean, there's definitely teams that could upset both of them. In the NBA, I haven't followed hardly at all. I'm just going to tell you my hopes. Anyone but the Lakers.
I don't think
I don't think they're not that great.
Okay.
I'm taking.
Even
I'm
Golden
taking
State's
the
taking a back
Nuggets
seat.
or who is it? Not Minnesota. Is it the Timberwolves?
Timberwolves are like number 1 or
Yeah,
2, but
yeah.
but Denver's beating them up. Like the Nuggets are almost.
So
your
in the
favorite.
West, in the NBA, I would definitely lean towards the Nuggets.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
The Nuggets are almost
Uh-huh.
the same.
And God, I would almost say Boston has a real shot in the
I know.
East too. But saying that,
They are choke artists.
dude,
just
that'd be
like the
fucking
Bruins.
crazy
That would be
if all
crazy.
4 of them made it, though.
Oh yeah.
Which
that
is,
would
there's
be-
a chance.
There's a very good
There's
chance.
a chance
Yeah.
of that.
You're talking about.
Boston is choke artists.
No, I
man.
know.
You're almost talking about Joker and McKinnon both being the MVPs of the season as well.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Which
Yeah.
is crazy.
McKinnon's almost. I would.
Jokic would not have got it if Embiid didn't.
No,
get
but
it.
he
I
is
agree.
a
He was
clear
up by
front runner
60
right
votes.
now. Yeah.
I would say right now McKinnon is the favorite.
Yeah.
Jokic is.
He just
He
got
is the
like
favorite.
close.
He
Yeah,
is the
he's
favorite.
probably
he
the
just
favorite,
got like
yeah.
5 points in the last game. He had 3 goals and 2 assists.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah.
If it's not the Celtics, I
By the
think
way-
it could be
The Pacers.
the Knicks, the
Pacers
Pacers.
look-
Yeah,
Pacers
they do look good.
really good.
And the
when
Pacers,
Tyrese
yeah.
Halliburton is on point,
Yeah.
like
By the way, I was watching for fantasy purposes.
playoff
Milwaukee,
Jimmy
yeah.
is coming.
Oh,
Playoff
yeah,
Jimmy
dude, didn't
is
even think of
coming.
that.
The
Fair.
Heat are always a
And
problem.
they just picked up someone from the lottery trade, not like
and they have the best coach in the league, in
He
my
is
opinion.
fucking good.
Like,
So I was watching purely for fantasy purposes, but the Avalanche were playing Pittsburgh last night.
I watched that.
And,
it was
dude,
they won
4-0, and then they came back and won 5-4.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
nuts.
Like
in
that-
overtime.
Yeah.
It took like 10 seconds in overtime, 3-on-3 hockey.
I was watching
And
my
that
phone,
was
I'm
what
like-
happened when we just played the Bruins on Saturday. We were it was a tie game. We forced it into overtime. It's 2-2. Or no overtime. There was 50 seconds left, and we had Forsner come right up and like the cleanest top shelf goal on the right side, and he's full left. I was like, I don't even understand that angle. Like,
Yeah, oh.
if the goalie didn't drop and just move the left like 2 inches, it would have hit his shoulder.
Damn.
Dude, I saw a goal. De Kratz, the left wing for the Red Wings now. Anyway, it was a while back, maybe like a month ago. But he is right-handed, and the goalie's in front of him, and he's on the red line. So the goal's parallel with his stick. The puck is over the red line, and he shoots and scores on the goalie from the corner, basically,
Damn.
because he basically hit it off of the goalie's pads in.
Okay.
But the shot,
It's a one-to-man.
so amazing. Like, it's negative angle. Like, it just doesn't
Sure.
work into fucking angles.
That
you know?
alley-oop one you sent like 2
Oh,
days
those
ago,
are
that was
badass,
fucking
yeah.
beautiful. I was like, whoa.
That was, yeah.
You know, they're considering outlawing the Michigan behind,
Like
you
a
know,
sweep?
scooping the puck.
Oh,
I don't
scoop,
think
yeah.
they should do that. Bedard did it this year, where he was behind.
Now
the net,
there's so many
scooped
people
it
that do
up,
it.
and
Yeah,
then-
there's so many people that do it. Like, and I see guys like go behind the net, pick it up like that, and then like flip it in, like they're going to
The
pass
problem
out
is,
front to the center.
if you're in a position where you're able to do that, that means you don't have a defender there. Because if I'm
Yeah.
a defender, I'm chopping your stick
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't work unless you had no defense.
True.
So it doesn't
Yeah.
make sense.
Right. It's not an illegal play.
Right?
No.
I mean, I agree with you. I think it's a spectacular goal, and it takes time to set it up, to scoop the puck like that on your stick, and it's not an easy thing to do.
Yeah.
I think they should maybe outlaw it in shootouts. Would be my
Oh,
only
yeah.
thing.
Well, you can't really do it in a shootout because if you pick it up in a shootout and you bring the puck back,
Behind you, it's
then
considered
it's a dead
backwards.
play.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but we were talking about the NFL banning the
Hip tackle.
hip tackle.
That's stupid, man.
Saquon Barkley is going to get like 2,500
No
yards this
shit.
year.
The running back value.
Derrick
is gonna go
Henry?
up
Oh,
a
yeah.
ton. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
Well, they were talking about. I
Uh-huh.
saw a stat that, or a friend posted, like, well, Derrick Henry's not going to get tackled this year.
Yeah.
How are you supposed to tackle?
That's the
Okay,
thing.
so here's the thing: is that
He read the specifics.
you have
of
to
it.
do two things. You have to have both of your arms wrapped around their waist,
Uh-huh.
and you have to make a You have to.
swing type thing.
Well, no, you have to dead weight yourself while you're swiveling. So it's like, you know how people wrap up and spin?
Yeah, kind of like slam
and then
on wrestling.
yeah, exactly.
Like real
You
wrestling.
have
How
you
is
can,
that not a hip toss?
You can
'Cause
wrap
hip
them
toss is,
up.
like, just dropping.
I'm telling you.
You
that
can
you're
wrap
not
them
supposed-
up, but as long as
Thanks.
if you have them wrapped up, and you're like powering with your legs and you get them
Drag
down,
them down,
or you
yeah.
just straight spear them, that's legal still. You have to dead weight yourself, like there's no motion from your legs,
Yeah.
and you have to.
So you have to take
They were-
yourself out of the play to make the
There's
play.
also stipulations still, like the helmet to helmet rule, that they're thinking that it might not be an automatic 15-yard penalty, but you could get fined or have to
Taken out
sit
of the
out a
game.
couple games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Did
I
you
kinda
hear the
miss it.
kickoff thing?
We talked about it, but I don't
So
know
the
if it's official.
kickoff, it is official.
What?
Yeah.
It's official?
Yeah.
The XFL one?
No, it's a variation of that.
Okay.
You're talking
Yeah.
about where they gotta like punt it inside, or if it goes out.
Not punt, kick.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
So it's got to land between the 20 and the goal line.
Yes.
Or if it lands in the end
touchback.
zone, it's a touchback
Yeah.
automatically.
What are they at? 30 or 25 now?
The kicker's at the 35,
Uh-huh.
but the kicking team's offense, the line essentially, is
Mm-hmm.
at the, I think, 45, and then the receiving team's at the 35,
Okay.
and they only have 10 yards to run into each other, and they can't leave the line until the ball's touched. Okay? There's two people back that can return, and then there's like hash mark rules of like you can only have so many in the hash marks or whatever to divert onside kick. But like the kicker can't cross the 50 until the ball's touched. So he can run up to the 50 and like prepare if he kicks it fucking crazy